What if you could invest directly in the backbone of the Indian economy? Banks, NBFCs, insurance companies, and financial institutions? And what if your portfolio was closely tied to credit growth, interest rate cycles, and economic expansion? That's the idea behind the Bank of India Banking and Financial Services Fund. But does focusing on one sector really improve long term returns, or does concentration increase risk more than most investors expect? So let us break it down in detail in this video. Hi there, welcome back to holisticinvestment.in, where we help individual investors like you to make the right financial and investment decision to reach your financial goals in a more faster and smarter way. Now, before we analyze this fund, let us first understand a few basic details about it. So, as an NFO, it opens on 8th Jan 2026 and closes on 22nd Jan 2026. So, some of the key features of the fund are: this is an open-ended fund type which belongs to the category of equity sectoral banking, and it has Nifty Financial Services TRI as its benchmark index, and there is an exit load of 1% if you choose to redeem it within 60 days, and there is no entry load. The minimum investment amount required to invest in this fund is 5,000 rupees. So the fund manager for this fund is Mr. Nilesh Jetani, and according to the riskometer, the risk involved in this fund is very high. So the primary investment objective of this fund is that it seeks to generate long-term capital appreciation by investing predominantly in equity and equity-related instruments of banking and financial services companies. So now, as we have a basic idea about the fund, let us move on to the analysis part of the video, where we are going to take a look at the pros and cons of investing in this fund. So let us first start with the advantages, the pros. So number one, the fund invests primarily in banking and financial services companies that benefit from rising credit demand. As the economy grows, this sector often plays a central role in wealth creation. And number two, banking and financial stocks can perform well during favorable interest rate and credit cycles. So a sector-focused fund can respond more directly to these macro trends. And number three, beyond banks, the funds may invest in NBFCs, insurance companies, AMCs, and fintech-linked players. So this provides variety within the broader financial services theme. And number four, active management allows flexibility in choosing between PSU banks, private banks, NBFCs, and insurers. This can help navigate sub-sector risk better than a static sector index. So these are some of the advantages. However, there are some disadvantages as well. So let's look into the cons now. Number one, the fund is restricted to a single sector, making it vulnerable to sector-wide downturns. Any prolonged stress in financials can significantly impact return. And number two, banking and financial services are closely linked to GDP growth, credit demand, and asset quality. So during economic slowdowns, performance can deteriorate sharply. Number three, changes in RBI regulations, government policies, or capital norms can affect profitability. So these factors are largely outside the fund manager's control. And number four, sector funds are generally better suited as tactical or satellite allocations. Relying on them as a primary equity investment can increase portfolio volatility. So we need to consider all these drawbacks before deciding to invest in this fund. Now, what is the final takeaway then? Is investing in the Bank of India Banking and Financial Services Fund worth it or not? So does this fund offer focused exposure to a key economic sector? Yes, but focus cuts both ways. Can sector concentration boost returns during favorable cycles? Absolutely, but timing and patience matters a lot. And with this being a sector fund, should investors approach it cautiously? That's often a wise way to think about thematic and sector strategy. But at the end of the day, this fund is simply a targeted bet on financial sectors, not a diversified equity solution. So the real question is, does sector-specific exposure aligns with your risk appetite, time horizon, and overall portfolio balance? So our personal recommendation is that if you're a first-time investor or even a conservative investor who's not willing to take a lot of risk, you can consider other similar existing thematic funds with a track record of 7 to 10 years, where you'd be able to take a calculated risk by identifying how the fund has performed in highs and lows. But here, without that kind of data and a thematic NFO, you will definitely, if you add it to your core portfolio and it underperforms, it will impact your portfolio negatively. So it's better if you do not invest in a thematic NFO, because it will be like taking a blind risk. And even for a seasoned investor, it's harder to predict when to enter and exit from a thematic fund. And if you need professional guidance, you can consult with a certified financial planner who will look into the fund's suitability, like with factors like investment objective, risk profile, overlap ratio, allocation, and see whether that aligns with your risk tolerance, your financial goals, and the time horizon you have for those goals, and strategically guide you towards better outcomes in a long-term period. And if you want to gain more professional guidance through a professional financial planner, you can choose to book a one-on-one complimentary consultation with one of our professional financial planner through the link in the description. Also, if you want to gain more investment and financial insights through the leading experts in the finance industry, we also conduct regularly free live webinars through which you can register and gain these insights. The link is in the description. Also, if you like this video, definitely hit like and subscribe to YouTube channel so we can come up with more such financially beneficial content for you. Thank you for watching.